me here at the Pugilist place. We are very lucky to be here with Nadia Morales. Nadia, thank you so much for your time. How are you?
I am fine.
So, first off, tell us a little bit about yourself. We're in Riverside, California with you right now. Tell us about where you're from. So let's start there.
Well, I was born in Santa Ana and I moved here when I was 7 years old. So this is my second home.
This is your second home. And you went to high school at Norte Vista.
Yeah, I went to Norte Vista.
What's it like? Something that I'm from Riverside as well. Something that blew my mind was to know how many professional fighters are here, like high-profile fighters. What is it like to be here in, like, I jokingly call it the fight capital. What's it like to be here in Riverside with all these boxers and gyms and boxing culture?
I like being part of it, especially because I'm a female, because I just want to represent female boxing in general.
So you're about to make your professional debut on Saturday.
Yeah.
How excited are you for that?
I'm really excited. I've been training 8 years for this, so I just want to get in there and get it over with.
Right. And you'll be going down to Tijuana for this. Mm-hmm. You'll leave on Friday. Mm-hmm. Do you know who your opponent is?
No, I don't know her name.
Okay. So professional debut. What weight class are you going to be fighting at?
Bantamweight, 118.
Second question I want to ask. So you've been at this gym for your entire amateur career. Mm-hmm. Tell us about your coach. Your coach, Alex, his father is like the architect of boxing out here in Riverside and in the Inland Empire. There was nothing before his dad, basically started training fighters. What's it like to train under him?
It's funny because at first, when I first started, he never wanted to train girls at all. But over time, he noticed that I was here, the first one and the last one out, and eventually gave me a chance to train.
Do you obviously it's a very male-dominated sport. Do you sense that people maybe don't take you serious or they want to go softer on you because you are female?
Sometimes I do feel like that, but once they get hit in the ring and sparring, then they're like, okay, maybe she can take a punch. So yeah, after that it's just like, okay, they treat me equally here. So.
Yeah, you check them with your fist, right?
Yeah.
So tell us your nickname.
They call me Conchis, or if not, they call me La Conchita.
So where does this nickname come from?
Because I love conchas. When I first started, every single time after the gym, I would go home and I would eat a concha. And my older brother, because he started here too, my older brother would tell me, if you're going to be boxing, don't be eating conchas or else you're going to look like one. And then one day he just said, Conchis, and I turned around and then he's like, your name's going to be Conchis. And then he called me that, and eventually everybody started calling me that.
I love it. I love the stories behind nicknames because they're so important and personal to fighters. That's awesome. So describe your coach was telling me a little bit about your style of fighting, but describe your style of fighting as you see it.
I feel like I'm a smart fighter in there. I'm more of maybe of a Mayweather. I'm in and out. I don't like staying in there. I like moving around and dancing in the ring, and just in and out, smart defense, moving around.
So you're utilizing your boxing skills and your acumen and IQ and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Was Mayweather a big inspiration for you?
Yes.
He was?
Yes. I would watch a lot of his fights, and then eventually, as I was learning, he would tell me, my coach would tell me to look up more fighters, and just from there, just take whatever I can get.
Your family, have they been supportive of your boxing career? Are they like, don't do it, or discourage you from doing it?
My dad really didn't like me fighting at all, and he would never go to any of my fights until maybe my 6th fight. He came and watched me, and he saw me get a bloody nose and he started freaking out. But other than that, he's now kind of changing his mind about things. My mom's really supportive. She's always telling me, if you have a dream, go for it. So
it's funny that you mentioned that, because I was talking to Sinisa Estrada yesterday, and she mentioned the same thing. Her dad really discouraged her in the beginning of her career. He didn't want her to box. It's only for boys. So you females have this difficulty, with us guys trying to discourage you from this sport.
Yeah.
But you guys are awesome. You guys are so good. So you mentioned that you're defensive. You like to utilize your IQ. What do you think is your single best weapon that you carry with you every time you step into the ring?
I would say my footwork.
Your footwork.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Boxing is unique in that I feel like if you like baseball or if you play baseball, a lot of baseball players are like, well, I just like playing baseball or I like playing football. Boxers, it seems like they're really inspired by fighters that they see on TV or that they met. Are there any fighters that you look up to, past or present?
There's a lot that I look up to, but mainly one would be Michaela Mayer, because I've seen her since like her Olympic time, and like I've followed her journey ever since she first turned pro until now. So
Have you ever met her?
No, I'm kind of hoping I do one day. So
She's close. She's out here in LA.
yeah.
So you've been amateur for 8 years. Tell us how you got started in the sport. Who brought you to a gym for the first time or took you to a sport, and what were the circumstances under which you started boxing?
Well, first I was playing softball, and then after softball season was almost over, I wanted to do something else, and I just didn't want to stay home. I like being active and moving around. So I would be running around at the gym, like just working out and whatnot. And then my brother is the one who first started here. And then I would see him running around at the park, and then I asked him if I can join. And he was like, no, because you're going to cry. And I was like, no, I swear I won't. And then he brought me here, and that's when I first started here with my older brother.
You basically at first anyways, you wanted to tag along with your older brother.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. And as you mentioned, there was a little bit of pushback from your parents, but it all worked out. This is interesting. To me, it's an interesting question to me. I talk to some fighters who are like, hey, look, I do it for the money. Or I box because I like to be competitive with people. Some people are like, I like to hurt people. Like the feeling, I was talking to a fighter yesterday, and they're like, yeah, the feeling that when I knock somebody down or hurt somebody, it's unlike anything else. So they have fighters have all these different reasons why they fight. Why do you fight?
I fight because I want to prove myself, if anything. Every single time I step in a ring, it's like a new challenge for me. So I just want to overcome another challenge. And I also want to be an inspiration for these little kids here.
Wow. Okay, and we could see as some of the younger fighters were leaving, they were like, looking up to you as they were leaving. So, professional debut, you only get one. It's a very special thing in a fighter's career. What are some of the things that you've been working on in the gym to ensure that you're victorious on Saturday?
I've been practicing a lot on my movement, making sure I use a lot of my movement, because I've seen her, one of her videos, and I feel like I move a lot better than her. And I've been working a lot on my strength and my jab.
So like a lot of your jabbing, I say this all the time because it's like boxing 101, but yeah, if you can jab, it makes things so much easier. You can punch off of it, you can control the distance, so many things. It's such an important weapon in boxing. So, all things work out perfectly for you on Saturday. What kind of victory are you going to have?
I think it's going to be very emotional for me. So, because I've been working so hard at this, so it's just means a lot.
Yes, I can understand. Hey, there's so much blood, sweat, and tears that goes into this. People don't understand. Like, they don't understand the sacrifices that are made. You mentioned that, you're working a graveyard shift.
Yeah.
You're a student. You're going to be a kinesiology. You are a kinesiology major, so it will pay off. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be great. Before we get you out of here, I like to do something so fight fans can get acquainted with you, like with pop culture. I call it the 10 count. I'm just going to ask you some pop culture questions. Are you down? Can we go?
Yeah.
All right. Ready? All right. Ready, set, go. What's your favorite singer or band?
Singer band? I like Rise Against. It's a rock band.
Yes, very good. Favorite store in the mall?
Store in the mall? I don't have one. I don't go to the mall.
It's so funny. She's like, I think it's a good question. She's like, people don't go to the mall anymore. They buy stuff online.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm an online shopper.
What do you like to buy things online?
I like to buy a lot of workout stuff.
Hey, you know what? This is what you are. You're a fighter. Favorite movie?
I like scary movies, I don't
Okay.
have a favorite.
Favorite social media app?
Instagram.
Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network?
Nickelodeon.
Favorite food?
Pizza.
Does pineapple go on pizza?
Yes.
All right. Celebrity crush?
Don't have one. I don't watch TV.
Too busy boxing and working and
Yes.
being a student. Favorite TV show?
TV show would be SpongeBob.
Okay. Okay. Favorite thing to do in Riverside?
I like going hiking.
Like a Mount Rubidoux?
Yeah.
Okay. I was talking to Virgil Ortiz. He trains here at Robert Garcia's gym. I was like, "What's your favorite thing to do in Riverside?" I've asked him this twice. He's like, "There's nothing fun to do in Riverside." I'm like, "There are things. There are some things. I mean, don't make it look terrible for us." One thing that people would be surprised to know about you.
That's hard. I really don't like speaking about myself.
Well, you're gonna have to.
I know.
You're a professional fighter now.
Um,
Okay, how about this? Well, let me give you this one. What's one word to describe yourself in high school?
the quiet one.
The quiet. They're always the quiet assassin, right? Nadia, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to get to meet you finally. We wish you the best of luck in your professional debut. Where can fight fans follow you on social media?
They can follow me on Instagram at Nadia Morales _.
You're on Twitter too, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And then is it the same for Twitter?
For Twitter is team_gorgeous.
Okay. Thank you for the time. Best of luck to you. We wish you the absolute best.
Thank you.